Darai and Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about Brunson Liberty House and all of the progress that's happening right now. So, Elizabeth, we checked in a couple of months ago when you guys were preparing to have residents move in. How is everything going?
It's going well, thank you. Last time you were there, we had the furniture in, but we didn't have all the other little details, the towels, the sheets, and the residents. So right now we do have the residents there. They're doing well. And now we're in the back end figuring out all the equipment, making sure everything's working, and making sure that young people have building a community.
Awesome. And yeah, that's so important. I mean, all of these kids are, like you said, 18 to 22, 23,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
That's such a formative time, young adulthood, and having a community around you is so important. So how many residents live in the house currently, and what are their ages? Where do they come from?
So the first cohort, we have is 7 young people there, ages 19 to 23. They all have been at Bridge in any of our other programs beforehand, so they're really familiar of what's the next level, what's expected of them, the savings, the working through problems and so forth. So once they go through that first step, then they're ready to move into our Brunson Liberty House. So the first 7 are in, and we have 2 more that we try to do it slowly because we have 7 young people in one area, just make sure everybody's in the same page and what's going on. And so now we have another 2 that are hoping to move in soon. So we're excited about that as well.
Fantastic. I'm sure they're very excited as well, right?
Yeah, and part of the program as well is savings. It's a big thing about savings. And our rent's pretty low. It's at about $250?
Yep.
It's $250 that they pay, and then the rest, they do a 50-30-20?
Yeah.
50-30-20.
Yep.
So the rest goes into savings, and we have a millionaires club, and we have already one person that's already saved over $25,000 that just moved in.
Wow.
So putting a lot of money into savings is important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that young people need to learn, how to save money. I need to learn that as well.
Yeah, me too.
At all ages, it's important,
Yeah.
right? Especially when you haven't grown up with those tools,
Right.
So, Darai, what has been the highlight of living at Brunson so far?
The highlight of it is getting the opportunity to explore my present just so I have the chance to unwrap my future.
Absolutely. And what does that future hold for you?
Everything. It holds love, it holds family. Nothing really materialistic, but the things that truly mean something to me, which is my family.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. I love that.
Which room do you have at the house?
I have the first room on the 3rd floor.
Nice. That has a nice view.
It does. It really
has
does.
5 windows, right?
Yeah.
Or 3 windows or something?
Yeah, 3 windows in a room. Yeah,
Nice.
it's really nice.
How was that first experience when you walked in?
I used all my 5 senses. I took it all in because it was a beautiful experience. And I laid on the floor. I did a little snow angel, I was very excited. It's life-changing. So I took it, and I'm running with it.
Good.
Yeah.
So, Elizabeth, the house was named after the iconic Richard Brunson, who is iconic from his work at Bridge Over Troubled Waters. What about his life story inspired the creation of an independent living space like
So
this?
Richard was a social worker at Bridge for over 40 years, and he was actually one of my supervisors when I started at Bridge as a counselor. And the amazing thing about Richard, he is iconic. I'm gonna keep saying that every day. I'm gonna call him the iconic Richard.
Yeah.
It's the word.
Thank you. The amazing thing about Richard is that he is blind. He's legally blind. And our young people really always felt comfortable with him because he can only hear them. And by just hearing them, they could not say, he doesn't like me because of my color, or he doesn't like me because of how I look or how I'm dressing, because he couldn't see any of that. He can just talk to you what you were saying to him, what he heard, and treated you with that same respect. And, social workers don't get a lot of called iconic, or nothing gets named after them. And it was really important for somebody. Bridge has been around 55 years, and Richard was 40 years of that. Was his life and legacy of working with a lot of young people. It's amazing to us when we see our Facebook page or Instagram, somebody say, I was there in the 70s, is Richard still there? I was there in the 80s, is Richard still there? And my counselor was Richard, and Richard said this to me, and he planted the seed. And we always hear those stories. And so this was our way of saying, thank you for everything you do, for you've done for us. Enjoy your retirement. Your legacy still stays on. And the most important thing is that not only do we see you as young people, but we hear you. Right. And that's much more important. And Richard left that legacy of like, listen to what they say. Don't see their attitude, their clothes, their green hair, don't see that. Listen. Because if you listen, you'll be able to help motivate, pathway, and guide them to where they need to go. And so I thank the iconic Richard for providing that training for us and being able to provide that for all young people. When the opportunity came and working with Liberty Mutual Foundation, and we express Richard and his iconic services that he provided at Bridge, they jumped into it and said, yes, let's name it. And it was powerful to me that when we built the plaque, that it was in Braille, and just feeling him and seeing him, touching and seeing his name. It's one thing me telling him, you don't know if that's true or not. But his name on it was really powerful, and he can read it and he could understand. And I said, you can retire in peace. And we're taking your legacy to the next level. And so we had the opportunity. Liberty helped us do it, and he deserved it.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, it's funny how, a perspective like that, even though he doesn't have one of his senses, it lifts a veil almost, right? And you're able to see people for who they actually are in their hearts and their souls. And how do you hope it'll continue to inspire people?
Every time someone moves in, so when the first cohort moved in, Richard came and met them. So we're hoping to continue that and having Richard at least meet once a year, just come by and let them know why. So we tell our young people the story, who Richard is, and that he saw you by hearing you. And that's what we want to provide for them. And we see them, we express what we expect from them, and they are taking his legacy to the next level, and it means a lot to Richard. And so we want to continue doing that, and more young people to keep hearing the story of like, I know other people saw you and they didn't plant the seed. I know other people saw you and didn't believe in you. I know other people saw you and judged you. But we're here to listen and work through that. While you're here, while you work, other young people have goals at Bridge. Some of it's career, some of it's emotional support, college, foundations, and they all pick their goals with their counselors. And it's important to continue to work on those goals and know that, you're being heard and something's not working on this goal for you. Let's figure out how to fix that. And so I hope his legacy, or I pray during my tenure that his legacy continues to inspire other people about, let's replant the seed and let's rewater it and see how it grows differently. And everything someone said or said about you or stuff you struggled with does not have to continue with you while you grow.
Right, absolutely. And Darai, can you tell us about some of the goals that you have while you're at BLH and how the program has sort of helped you so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of my goals is to be financially stable, find a career, and have housing. And the way they're helping me is, as she explained, we have a millionaires club. And so when they brought that up, well, technically they brought it up at Bridge, but as soon as I heard that opportunity, I took it. Now, the Millionaires Club describes, like in deep detail, how to invest in stocks and how to save your money and stuff like that. So that really made an impact on my life, because that's one of the things I wanted to do. It's part of building that generational wealth that I want to do. So Yeah.
That's the whole opportunity Brunson Liberty House is all about. It's about really providing the stable place that you now have to worry about that roof over your head.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about that your rent's going to go up or you're going to get kicked out. It's really about saving, keep it minimal, get into work, but then having those opportunities to learn and do more.
Those
and
building
experience.
blocks.
Yeah, and also, you know, not only the building blocks, but also fail on those. If you tried this and that didn't work, you still have us.
Yeah.
Let's figure out something else that might work and really test it out and see, like, the freedom of having a space. I don't know, Darai, tell me if I'm wrong, but the freedom of having, like, I have a home and I can try new things is a relieving.
Yeah.
For you to be free of learning and trying new stuff. Is that, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
no, you're absolutely correct, because I believe without any guidance, you know, or people being there to say, hey, try this out, do this, you know what I mean? It doesn't give anybody the opportunity to grow. And so I say, if you want to do something, you got to learn how to fail first. You got to love to learn how to fail. You got to love it. You got to love how to lose, and that's how you win. So I've spent too many times, well, a lot of people, I'm not just going to say me because the world doesn't revolve around me, but a lot of people has been through their fair share of life. And so you just got to take those losses and you got to turn them into wins, and you just got to keep going. That's all.
Don't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really inspiring.
Yeah.
Wow. And Elizabeth, could you just tell our viewers where to learn more about BLH and Bridge Over Troubled Waters?
Yes, you can learn about BLH and the iconic Richard at www.bridgeotw.org. I hope I said that right.
We'll link it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for linking it. Our website has a lot of information. Please follow us on Facebook or Instagram. We have information there about what our programs are, how they do it, information about our young people, and also for other young people that are looking for a space or they might not need housing right now, and that's okay, but they need someone to talk to. And Bridge has a whole holistic approach of supportive services, and it might take you a little while, but come by and talk to us and go from there.
And if I were to add on, anybody that's less than 23, 24, don't be afraid to take the first step to getting your life better. It might seem a little scary because, you know, I left my house at a young age, so I looked at the world and said, you know, you're not gonna own me, and I went out there and did my thing. So don't be scared to get help. Don't be scared to do what you have to do for yourself, because nobody's gonna help you, nobody's gonna tell you to do it. You have to get up and do it yourself. And you'll be surprised that, you know, through that scary door, it's a beautiful world. It's beautiful. You know, there's little hardships, little here and there, but, you know, when you take that first step into the door you're scared of, it's beautiful on the other side. So just go for it. Just do it.
Thank you. It took you a couple of months to walk through our doors.
Yeah, it did. Yep, you're right.
I don't want you.
Yeah.
It's hard to say
That's
I
right.
need help. It's
That's
hard
right.
to say
And
I
that's
need help.
crying, people say, is weak, but you need to cry to make you feel stronger. You know, sometimes you just gotta say, you know what? Throw all those thoughts out the window and just go for it. That's what you gotta do.
Don't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
It's sometimes, yeah, man. The world, what does they say? Be in the world, not of it. Because as soon as you become of the world, people will tell you who you are and what you can't do, you know? So what I'm trying to say is, for the younger ones, just remember who you are, who you always will be, you know, and don't let nobody tell you different. And just keep going. That's all you got to do.
Thank you so much,
you.
Darai. And thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.